Can you tell what she's saying?
Yeah, well, I reckon the long and short of it is she's not going home.
Oh, why did she come looking for you, Albert?
Because she happens to be a good friend of mine. Don't you, love?
Poor little soul. I wonder what got her in this state.
Oh, well, I've got a pretty good idea of that and all. Now, don't worry up, though. We'll get it straightened out.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen that. And I'm going to find out about that before I'm much older.
Are you feeling better now, love?
Yes. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's go in and see our Valerie, shall we? She'll be ever so pleased to see you. I've told her all about you.
All right, then? Yes.
Yes. Right, well, thanks, Elsie.
Okay, love.
Come on, Valerie. I've got somebody coming in to see you.
What's going on?
Damsel in distress.
Oh, I see that, love. Is that the kid who tongues about?
Yeah, she's got a dirty great bruise right down one side of her face.
How'd she get that, then?
I don't know, but to putting two and two together, I should say she's got it from home.
Oh, like that, is it? Well, kids can drive you up the flipping wall, but, well, there is a limit.
I think Albert's reached us and all. I know some things make you want to spit, but I've never seen him lose his temper like that.
Oh, you've noticed, have you?
Hey, do you think he's taking monkey glances?
No, I don't think he's quite doing that, love, but he's certainly different. Oh, all I hope is it doesn't get him into trouble, eh? See you, love.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Have you got an hanky, love? No. Here you are. Here's a clean one of mine. There. Feel better now? I thought you would. Now, come on. Now, tell me all about it.
I burnt my dad's teeth.
You burned your dad's teeth? Is that all?
Yeah, love.
Now, what do you say? Here, how about giving Mrs. Barlow one of them smiles that you give me in the morning? There, now, doesn't she look grand when she smiles?
It certainly does.
Oh, I bet you know who this is, don't you?
Hello, what are you doing here then, love?
Yeah, she's just going to tell us, aren't you, love? Now, come on, you're not frightened of Mr. Barlow, are you?
No, of course she isn't. She's doing like an audience, you love. Val?
Hmm? Oh. Yeah.
Let's go and look at that,
Now then, what was this about your dad's teeth?
I burnt it.
But doesn't your mum get it ready?
My mum didn't come home from work till later, and my dad likes it when he gets in. He likes to get out to the pub before our Stephen comes home.
Oh, so you've got another little brother, have you?
My man fetches him from nursery on the way home. My dad says he gets on his nerves.
Oh, he does he? I'll bet it was your dad that did that, wasn't it? And I'll bet it's not the first time either.
My mum says it was my own fault.
How does she make that out?
She says I shouldn't make him lose his temper.
Oh, I see.
He clouts her sometimes and all.
Susan, where does your dad work?
He works at the post office. He's working on that big hole out there.
What years is he? Oh, that's a pity they've packed up. I wouldn't have had so far to go to find him.
Why don't you come in tomorrow and match it in daylight?
Oh, no, go on, that's near enough. Anyway, I've spent all my afternoon off on this dress, so I'm going to finish it today if it kills me. How much?
4 and 11.
Well, that's £5.
Don't you sell them at your place?
Yeah, we do, but they haven't got out near it.
How are you liking it?
Oh, it's all right. It's a bit hard on the feet, though, isn't it?
Ooh, you can say that again. I'm sure I've got shorter since I took up shop work.
How'd you work that out?
Well, just seem to have sunk into myself from standing all day.
Go on, you crackpot.
I'm not kidding, I'm sure I have.
Hello. Who's the dark, handsome stranger in here, then?
It's you.
Do you know, I thought the face looked familiar.
Familiar's right.
All right, that's not a very nice thing to say to an old friend, is it? Especially after the night out we had last week. Do you remember when you told me all those things?
You don't
about
believe
history?
him, do you?
Of course I don't. Don't you ever dry up?
What, dry up? Me? I couldn't, darling. I just couldn't. I like the sound of my own voice too much. It fascinates me.
Ah, me too.
Hey, is that a fact?
Well, I've never heard out like it, and that is a fact.
Well, I'm going. I'll see you.
Try.
Right you are, darling. Usual time, underneath the arches.
We're closing in 5 minutes flat. So if you want out, you better get it now.
Hey, you can't talk to a customer like that.
I'm not talking to a customer. I'm talking to you.
Hey, I'm not your husband yet, you know.
Ooh, anybody that'd marry you would want their head seeing to.
Flattery will get you nowhere, darling. I had a proposition for you and all.
Why? What sort of a proposition?
Have you or have you not got a flat?
Yeah, but there's 2 of us sharing 1 room. Anyway, you're a man, you daft thing.
Well, that's a very nice thing to say, isn't it? I mean, all I'm asking for is a space to lay me weary head. A space about 6 foot by 2 foot, that's all I'm asking.
Well, I always knew you had a big head, but not that big. Hey, come to think of it, I do know of somewhere.
Where's that then?
Up at the cemetery.
Oh, that's great, that is. That's lovely. Hey, lady, did you wear that? You've got a right one here, you know.
Something wrong? Oh, it's all right, love. Don't take any notice of him. I'll see to him. Go on, we're closing.
Oh, I'm not standing here to be insulted, you know. I mean, time's money to me. It's money, it's time, love. You know that, don't you?
It's a puzzle to me why you're standing there at all.
I waited to see your boss.
Well, I'm afraid Mr. Swindler's out. Could I help?
Oh, I'm sorry, love. It's business. Business, you see. And only deal with the top men. Do you understand?
Yes, well, could you call in the morning?
Well, I'm not promising mine, but I might be able to spare him a few minutes about dinner time.
Very well, Mr. Stone.
And I might see you and Orley. Ta-ra, well.
Well, really?
Oh, it's all right, love. Don't take any notice of him. It's all right. You just want to give as good as you get with that kind.
But I'm always afraid they might turn funny. You hear of such peculiar things.
Oh, something like that, but he's not. He couldn't say boo to a goose, couldn't that one?
Now then, are you sure you wouldn't like some more squash? Now, what does that mean? You're not sure or you don't want any?
I don't want another.
Another what?
Another glass of... thanks.
That's a good girl. So, you don't want to go back home, eh? You know, it's a big thing to leave home. Mind you, I know how you feel about your dad. But what about your mum?
My mum wouldn't care. She told me not to come back when I ran off once before.
Oh, she did she? I know would miss you, though. Them two little brothers of yours. Am I right? I'll bet you're a real little mother to them, aren't you? And what are they going to think if you're not there, you know? It seems to me that they've come to depend on you. Susan, how would it be if I told you that when I was a little lad, I ran away from home myself?
Where did you run
I
to?
went to my granny's.
I've got no grannies.
Look, I'll tell you what, when I was a little lad, when I grew up and got married, and then I had a little lass of my own, just like you.
Did she die?
No, she didn't die. She grew up, and now she's got two little lasses of her own.
Did you clout her?
Well, no, I didn't exactly clout her. Mind you, I used to smack her bottom sometimes when she were a bit naughty.
You're going to take me home, aren't you?
Look, how would it be if I tried to fix it so that your dad didn't clout you again? And how would it be if I told you that you could come back and see us in Coronation Street any time you liked? You know, we've got your two little brothers to think about. Now, is it a bargain between us? That's it.
Oh, very better now, love.
Yes, of course she is. Now, don't worry, love. I'll take you back.
Well, is she going back then?
Well, she's got two little brothers that should depend on her.
Oh, I see. Well, I've got to go to Mrs. Linley's for some biscuits for tea. Would you like to come with me?
It won't take you on a minute.
Come on. We'll leave these two on their own.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm going to see her father. That's what I'm going to do.
You think that's wise?
Well, I don't quite know whether it's wise or whether it's not, but I'm going to do it. And if you've got any thoughts of trying to stop me, you can forget it, because my mind's made up.
You're into a real old war horse these days, aren't you? What's got into you all of a sudden?
Well, I'll tell you. I've come to the conclusion, after a lot of deliberation, that I've been wasting a lot of time these few years since I packed up work, and I haven't got much time to waste, have I?
Go on with you. You'll outlive a good few around here.
Yes, well, happen I will, and happen I won't. But whatever little time I've got left, I'm not going to waste it. I'd like to leave behind more than a collection of old coins that nobody wants.
Such as what?
Well, such as a few kind thoughts, and a space that'll happen seem empty for a while. If I could do a bit of good into the bargain, so much the better.
Time and all. We was just thinking of going without you.
What am I supposed to do? Go out half-dressed?
Well, all that time titivating. We're only going to Rovers any road.
Oh, what titivating?
All the time you must have spent titivating up now.
Look, I'll titivate you if you don't shut up.
I think you look very nice, Ina.
Oh, shut up.
She's entitled to her own opinion, isn't she?
You were a lovely-looking woman when you were younger.
I don't think I like the sound of that either.
Oh, well, I don't mean that you're not now. What I mean is that when you were younger, you looked, younger.
Mrs. Sharples?
Oh, it's you, is it? What's happened to that bike of yours?
Oh, I thought I'd give it a rest, like.
I bet it needs one and all the time you spend sitting on that funny little seat.
Well, I wondered if I could have a word with you in private, if it's no bother.
You two go on, I'll catch you up later.
Oh, we'll go on, don't worry. We don't want to listen to all your secrets.
Secrets? What's she always on about secrets for? Well, now they let us in peace, lad, what can I do for you?
Well, it's like this, you see, Mrs. Sharples. With you knowing everything that goes on round
Oh, so
here...
I know everything that goes on round here, do I?
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
No, I know what you mean, and I know who told you. You wait till I see Len Fairclough.
But he never
Now,
said...
it's no use denying it. I'm only pulling your leg. What's your trouble?
I'm worried about all them wash basins.
Don't blame you. I'd be having nightmares about them if it was me.
Yeah, it's not just that there's, well, a lot, but I wondered if they were all right.
How do you mean?
Well, I wondered if you knew aught about that Jed Stone that sold to me. I've been told he's been in trouble.
You think there might be stolen property, is that it?
Well, I wouldn't like to say
Well, it doesn't
that,
matter
but-
what you'd like to say. It's what you think, isn't it?
Well, I've wondered. Well, I mean, he seems all right. And at the time, the way he put it, it all seemed very straightforward.
Ah, there are some folk that can make the biggest swindle seem straightforward, and he happens to be one of them. Mind you, I'm not saying they're stolen property, but if I were you, I'd steer clear of him until Len Fairclough comes back. And don't make the mistake of thinking that everybody's as straightforward as you, lads, because they're not.
I'm ever so grateful to you for bringing her back, Mr.
Tatlock?
Mr. Tatlock. And you got lost or something?
No, Mrs. Schofield, she hadn't got lost. She'd run away from home.
Run away from home, how soon? No, I don't believe it.
Well, I'm afraid you've got to believe it because it's true.
Whatever would she want to do a thing like that for?
Well, I can show you one good reason. That.
Oh, yeah, you mean that fall she had?
And it's no good blaming it on a fall, either. Her father gave her that.
Oh, her father would never do a thing like that. He thinks the world of her father does. We both do, don't we, love?
Well, that is as may be. But he gave it to her. And it wasn't any accident, either. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have a word with him.
Oh, I can't have that, Mr. Tatlock. I know I can't have any trouble. He's got a terrible temper when he's roused us. In fact, though, he's a very quiet man, really.
Yeah, well, I'm a quiet man as well, so we ought to get on very well together, shouldn't we?
Mr. Tatlock, must you? It's you I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, if I don't talk to him, I shall be obliged to talk to somebody else, and you wouldn't like that, would you?
Yeah, well, he's not in right now. It'll be very late before he gets back.
Right, well, I'll see him at his work first thing in the morning,
I
then.
do wish you'd leave it to me. I mean, we don't want any trouble now, do we? For Susan's sake, do we, love, eh?
Now, you won't forget what I've told you, will you, love? Keep your chin up, and I'll see you at morning, same as usual, eh?
I'm sure you find there's been a mistake.
Yes, well, I should like to think so, but there hasn't been any mistake, Mrs. Schofield. Good night, love.
Get up them stairs.
Please, Mum.
Where'd you find that cheeky old fool? Oh, you're in right trouble this time, miss. And serve you right and all. You're getting no sympathy from me. You'll be your black and blue when he hears about this.
Please,
You come near me, I'll murder you. Causing me all this bother.
Steve, come on,
Hey,
darling.
see ya. Now listen, if you've got any sense, you'll keep your mouth shut about this in case that old fool changes his mind. Now go on, quick, get up them stairs. I'll probably catch you.
Who's that fella just went out?
Which fella?
Who's that fella that just went out?
Oh, him, yeah.
Yeah, him.
Well, he brought something back, Susan.
I've told you before, I'll have no interfering busybodies in my house.
Lad, let him in, didn't I? I mean, he did bring something back. He brought a school bag.
Well, I don't want to know what he brought back at all. I'll not have him in. And if I catch anybody poking their noses in, they'll flame him with wish they hadn't, I promise you.
Peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah, it won't be for much longer, though. Anyway, I don't think they've got a lot to do now, thanks.
Hey, do you know what time they start working?
I think it was about 9 yesterday. Why?
Well, one of the men's been having sandwiches from me, but he didn't say whether he wanted them today or not.
Hello, hello. Queuing up to watch already, are you?
Well, I think we've something better to do than watch this lot, haven't we, Valerie?
Hey, have you seen Mr. Tatlock at all? Did you find out how he went on with that fella?
No, he took Susan home, but her father wasn't in. He said her mother didn't seem up to much.
Poor little soul. I hope she didn't suffer for it.
Yeah, no, I think that's what's worrying him.
Is he going to see him, then?
Yes, he's just waiting for him to come, as a matter of fact. He's one of the workmen on this job.
Well, if he's the one that whistled after me yesterday, I hope he gives him what for. Hey, are you open, Florrie?
Yeah, come in. I'd like to have a word with you in private.
Just a tin apiece, that's all. You can give it to Christine because she's at home with her.
Yeah, okay, love. Come on.
What can I do for you, Mrs. Sharples?
Now, it's that fellow you at Dennis's I want to see you about. That Jed Stone or whatever his name is.
He's no friend of mine. In fact, the less I see of him, the better I like it.
Oh, it's like that, is it? Well, he's done out to me, but it's your friend Len Fairclough that stands to suffer for this lot.
Oh, and what's that supposed to mean, Mrs. Sharples?
Well, it so happens that this Jed Stone character has sold a large quantity of wash basins of very doubtful origin to young Jerry Booth. And I thought if you were in touch with Mr. Fairclough...
I'm very sorry to disappoint you, Mrs. Sharples, but I am not in touch with Mr. Fairclough, as you put it. But I'll tell you this. If Jed Stone is trying to pull a fast one over Len Fairclough, he'll live to regret it. And that I will promise you.
Good enough for me.
Where's your mum?
In the cellar.
Got your school bag?
It's there, Dad.
Oh, I think don't leave it behind again, understand? You hear me?
I haven't left it behind, Dad.
You're a liar. You left it yesterday.
Honest, I did.
I said you're a liar.
I didn't, Dad.
Look, there was a chap come here last night before I come home. What did he come for?
I don't know.
Well, I shall ask you again, you know.
He talked to me, Mum.
Oh, he talked to your mum, did he? Are you telling me he didn't bring your school bag back?
I didn't leave it, Dad.
Get off to school.
I haven't finished my bed.
Get off to school, I said.
Yes, Dad.
May! Evelyn Cole, come here. You told me a pack of lies last night, didn't you?
What lies?
That old fellow brought a school bag back, did he? Did he? Well, go on, did he?
You want to know he didn't? Come to see you about clouting her.
What?
Hey, come to see you. Told you'd lead to something marking her like that. Be having cruelty man round here before long, mark my
I'll
words.
murder him if I see him again.
Aye, well, you can start murdering him sometime this morning then, because he's come to see you on job.
On job?
You heard.
Did you tell him where to
You
find
just do. You just raise your hand to me just once more, Jim Schofield, and I'm going straight to police. Swelp me, I am.
Get me some tea.
I've told you on more than one occasion, Mr. Stone, all buying is done in bulk by Mr. Papakopoulos.
Yes, but where does he get his gin from? I mean, what does a Greek know about the rag trade? Look at all those statues. Now, Tom. Look, I can just see you sitting in his office, feet up, big cigar going, advising.
Mr. Stone.
Well, just you look at these. That's all I'm asking. Just have a look at these.
You're wasting your time, sir.
Well, who's worried? I mean, I'm not, am I? I mean, it's all part of the service, Mr. Swindley, the service. Now, look, you tell me, as man to man, what is your opinion of the plunging neckline?
Disgraceful.
Mate, I have here the most disgraceful selection of plunging necklines in the free world. The lower they plunge, the cheaper they are. The more you show, the less you pay. How's that for a slogan, eh? Mr. Swindley say, you will bless me. I say again, you will bless me.
There's no stopping him, is there? Oh, I do wish you'd go. I'm sure Mr. Swindler's beginning to twitch. To what? Haven't you ever noticed how he sort of twitches when he's getting angry? It's always been a warning signal to me. I can't see him buying that stuff, can you? Oh, no. They might be cheap, but they're certainly not gamma, as Mr. Swindley would say.
I'll tell you what I'll do then. 10 quid cash and the lot's yours.
Mr. Stone, if you were to offer them to me free of charge, I should still be obliged to refuse them. As I've told you, as I've been vainly trying to inform you, all buying is done by head office.
Oh, where's that then?
Opposite... No, I shouldn't like to be responsible for... In any case, plunging necklines are hardly gamma lines. Now, if you'll excuse me.
All right, mate. All right. I can find out, you know.
Possibly, but I can assure you that you would be wasting your time.
Ah, Mrs. Tanner, madam.
Would you send me a pair of them cheap stockings, love? I'll pop in for them on my way home to work tonight.
Yes, of course.
Madam, I can just see you in one of these plunging necklines.
I can just see you in hospital and all when Len Fairclough gets home.
Hey, what's all this then?
Wash basins to you.
Oh, you mean that favour I did him?
Yeah, I think you ought to be ashamed of yourself, the way you led that young lad, Jerry, up the garden path.
Me lead him up the garden path? I like that. Well, he's practically begging me on his benders, so I did him a favour.
Anyway, I haven't time to stand here talking to you. I'm late for work as it is. But I'll tell you this. If I was you, I'd be miles away from here when Len Fairclough gets back. And don't say you haven't been warned.
Charming.
Will you kindly get those articles off these premises, Stone? Give me headquarters on the telephone, Miss Nugent. I wish to issue a warning.
Oh, hey. Don't press the wrong button, will you?
Right, Fred. Pass them pipes up here, will you?
I'm looking for Jim Schofield.
Oh, you find him up there.
He's looking for you and all, matey.
Oh, it's you, is it?
Yeah, me.
Oh, well, then you'll know what I've come for, won't you?
Look, mate, do me a favour, will you? Clear off before you get hurt.
I'm not clearing away from here until I've said what I've come to say, you great big bully.
Hey, lads, here with this old cock caught me then. You're asking for trouble, you are. You're asking for it, aren't you?
Len Fairclough. Oh, he's on holiday.
Well, go and fetch Harry. Then there's going to be murder here in a minute.
Just so you're wrong. I'm making it my business as far as that lass is concerned.
Oh, you are? You know you when you're a church.
Never mind why. I'm only concerned is what you are.
Listen, if you're still standing here 10 seconds from now, so help me, I'll knock you to the side of the street, as old as you are.
Right, well, you better start knocking because I'm warning you.
Warning?
Listen
Warning
to
me? Why? Get out!
All right. If it's jail you want.
You looked it out about jail.
I did. That's where you'll go unless you've got any sense. Cruelty and neglect, they call it.
Good at you for me own kid. Me, you must be mad.
Yes, you're right. I am mad, blooming mad. For 2 pins, I'd do it any road. There's better men than you've gone to jail for less than what you've done. But I'm telling you straight, if I see one more bruise on Susan's face, or I hear one more word of you laying a finger on her, you've had it. Understand?
Oh, shut your face.
No, I'm telling you, you've had it.
My own kid and all.
Ah, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, your own kid.
Come on. Silly old nit.
Yes, well, which one? Oh, is this yours, Miss Nugent? Oh dear, it's a plunging neckline. It belongs to Mr. Stone.
Mr. Stone?
Oh, he wasn't wearing it, of course. He was trying to sell some to Mr. Swindley for the shop, but Mr. Swindley didn't like them.
Do you know he's a menace, that one? He sold 20-odd wash basins to Jerry Booth.
I know. I almost tried to persuade Jack to have one. I felt so sorry for the poor lad.
Anyway, Len Fairclough will be back next week, so he'd soon sort that lot out. We had a letter, as a matter of fact.
There's been another fight in the street. You've just missed it.
Oh, dear. Whoever was it this time?
Well, thank goodness it wasn't Len Fairclough.
Oh, no, it was Harry and old Tatlock.
Oh,
Goodness
no.
gracious.
Oh, it's all right, Mrs. Hewitt. Martha got it mixed up. What she meant to say was that Harry and Mr. Tatlock were fighting the other one.
What other one, for heaven's sake?
Oh, one of the big workmen on the street. Mr. Tatlock was telling him what he'd do if he found him hitting his little girl again.
Oh, that one. Hey, Harry isn't hurt, is he?
Oh, no. Mr. Tatlock didn't really need him. He dealt with the man himself.
Oh. Well, I think that was very brave of Mr. Tatlock. After all, he's not a young man, is he?
Hello, Mr. Tatlock.
Oh, Mr. Tatlock, I don't think you'll have any more bother with him.
Oh, you mean, oh, well, I don't know, love, you know. A leopard doesn't change his spots, you know. But I meant it, I did that. And if he doesn't behave himself, he's for it. By gum, he is.
That'll be for it.
Oh, I don't know. Mind you, I wouldn't like to be in Jed Stone's shoes when Len gets back, you know. He can't afford to tangle with the police because he's bound over.
It's not his shoes I'm worried about.
Hey, come to think of it. He's had it both ways, hasn't he? Because he can't really take it out on Jed Stone either.
And he'll take it out on me. Flipping wash basins. He'll be back on Monday, did you say?
Yeah, that's right.
Wonder what time Labour Exchange opens.